Module Overview. The evolution of personal artistic style is not a solitary act of invention, but rather a dialogic process, a conversation between the artist and the world of visual culture that came before and surrounds them. In this module, you will engage in a rich interdisciplinary exploration of historical, cultural, and contemporary art styles, identifying their distinguishing features, underlying philosophies, and aesthetic characteristics. This module emphasizes critical analysis, synthesis, and stylistic deconstruction, enabling you to intelligently mine the visual archives of global creativity for inspiration and innovation. Where Module 1 focused on introspection and the artist's inner world, Module 2 expands the horizon into art history, global traditions, modern movements, and digital aesthetics. You will learn how to analyze artistic styles, decode the visual language of the great masters and experimental contemporaries, and recognize trends, countertrends, and paradigms of stylistic expression. The aim is to refine your visual intelligence, the ability to interpret, compare, contrast, and contextualize style in order to inform their own evolving identity. Rather than mimicry, the goal here is stylistic literacy, understanding not just what a style looks like, but why it emerged, who it served, how it reflected its cultural moment, and what it offers today's artist. By studying a wide spectrum of art movements and creators across centuries and continents, you will be better equipped to craft a unique personal style that is informed, relevant, and powerful. Understanding art movements and their stylistic DNA. Overview of major Western movements: Renaissance, Baroque, Romanticism, Impressionism, Cubism, Surrealism, Abstract Expressionism, Pop Art, Minimalism, Postmodernism, Non-Western Aesthetics, Indigenous Symbolism, Islamic Geometry, African Textile Patterns, Asian Brushwork, Latin American Murals, Indian Miniature Painting, Philosophical, Political, Religious, and Cultural Roots of Visual Aesthetics. Contemporary Art and Digital Styles. Street art, digital surrealism, Afrofuturism, glitch art, generative AI art, modern mediums, 3D, digital collage, vaporwave, pixel art, NFT-based styles, understanding meme aesthetics, social media formats, and platform-specific visuals: Instagram, Behance, DeviantArt, Pinterest. Visual deconstruction and aesthetic grammar. How to break down a style. Color palette, composition, brushwork, form, texture, iconography. The difference between stylistic elements, form, and thematic elements, content, identifying signature techniques in classic and modern artworks. The psychology of style evolution. How artists shift style across periods and life phases. Case studies of famous artists who underwent major stylistic transformations, e.g. Picasso, Georgia O'Keeffe, Van Gogh, Basquiat, Frida Kahlo, the push and pull between inner evolution and outer influence. Influence without imitation, synthesis over copy, borrowing techniques while maintaining originality, creating homage artworks that reflect awareness, not replication, the ethics of influence, appropriation, and visual borrowing in a globalized world. Contextual analysis and cultural empathy. Avoiding Eurocentrism and embracing global visual literacy. Interpreting symbolic systems across cultures, e.g. Yoruba cosmology, Buddhist mandalas, Mayan hieroglyphs. Respectful inspiration, learning from without erasing or exploiting. Applied practice and creative exercises. Style analysis, worksheets. Deconstruct the work of 5 artists in terms of visual grammar, philosophy, medium, and intention. Chronological style map. Create a timeline of your personal artistic influences based on movements and creators. Cultural style investigation. Choose one non-Western artistic tradition and replicate a piece using its core principles, not imagery. Style mashup project. Combine 2 contrasting styles, e.g. Renaissance, realism, plus street art graffiti, to explore visual hybridity, visual commentary assignment. Select a contemporary issue, e.g. climate change, identity, social justice, and produce artwork using the lens of a historical style. Key case studies and figures. Wassily Kandinsky, Abstraction as Spiritual Language, Jean-Michel Basquiat, Cultural Fusion, Raw Expression, Street Narrative, Frida Kahlo, Symbolic Surrealism, Personal Mythology, Cultural Pride, Katsushika Hokusai, Line Economy, and the Ukiyo-e tradition, Julie Meretu, Gestural Mapping, Global Chaos, Architectural Rhythm, El Anatsui, African Materiality, Transformation, Repurposed Beauty, Takashi Murakami, Superflat Consumer Culture, Japanese Pop Fusion Hilma F. Klint, Early Abstraction, Mysticism, Feminism. Learning outcomes. By the end of this module, you will be able to identify and analyze the core elements of various historical and contemporary art styles, understand the cultural, philosophical, and emotional context behind stylistic movements, develop a visual vocabulary for describing and critiquing art, differentiate between direct imitation and creative synthesis, incorporate influences from diverse art traditions into their own developing style, create hybrid works that honor rather than exploit cultural origins, expand their visual intelligence through comparative and contextual study, real-world impact, enables artists to speak confidently about style, influence, and intention in exhibitions and interviews, empowers you to build original work informed by history and culture, avoids generic or trend-based aesthetics by grounding artists in visual intelligence, encourages ethical, meaningful creative borrowing from global traditions, lays the groundwork for cultural collaborations and exhibitions in diverse contexts.